Hello again, my little conscripts, and welcome to another Mordian Glory video. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at the Quartermaster Cadre Squad and how you can use it to build the ultimate Krieg Gigablob. And I'm just going to say it. I wish this was available to us in matched play because it's so good. If I could take this to a tournament, I would put 3 in every list without fail. As a guard infantry commander, this gives me a very uncomfortable feeling in my trousers. And it does bring a slight tear to my eye that I'll never be able to ruin someone's tournament with this tactic. A bold statement, a somewhat evil statement. I'm going to have to back this up. So let's fix bayonets and charge right into this thing.
Attention guardsmen, the Commissariat has detected you have not yet liked this video. Do so immediately or else you will face the Emperor's wrath. And anyone who has not yet subscribed to the channel will be transferred to the penal battalions. That is all. Move out!
So what we'll do first is we'll do the unit review of the Quartermaster Cadre Squad, and then towards the end of the video, we'll look at how we can combine this with other units to make this ultimate Krieg Gigablob. With that in mind, let's have a look at the Quartermaster's stat line. The Quartermaster Revenant, the leader of the squad, has a 6-inch movement, toughness 3, 4+ save, 3 wounds, leadership 7, and objective control of 1. This is very similar to a lot of other platoon commanders that we've seen, like with the Krieg Command Squad, Catalan Command Squad, and Caden Command Squad. The main difference here is that he has got a 4+ save. But the reality of the situation is that a 4+ save isn't really going to protect you. He's still just human. Even with the 3 wounds and the 4+ save, you're not going to find this guy standing up to many other enemy characters in combat. And to be honest, he'll be lucky to be able to fight his way out against a lot of enemy battle line stuff. If this guy gets into a one-on-one fight with an intercessor, I could definitely see it going either way. Intercessor Sergeant, he probably hasn't got a chance. At the end of the day, he's a guard character. So the stat line, I mean, it's there. But the main thing is, how does he force multiply? What is he bringing to the table? But before we rush off to see war gear and abilities, it is important to note that this squad does come with 4 Medicae servitors. Each one of these also has got movement 6, toughness 3, save 4+, 1 wound, leadership 8, and OC 0. OC 0 is a bit of a shame. It would be nice if they could add a little bit of objective control to the unit, but it is what it is. Leadership 8 doesn't really matter because you get to use the highest leadership in a squad when doing battle shock, so 7+ is more relevant. Really, these guys just are 4 ablative wounds. That's all they are. Their close combat isn't much to write home about, and the rest of the stat line isn't much to talk about either. But hey, ablative wounds are ablative wounds, and the more wounds we can add to the Gigablob, the better, so I ain't complaining. So that's the stat lines, but what about the weapons and war gear? What do these guys come with? Well, the Quartermaster squad is made up of 1 Revenant and 4 of the Medicae servitors. The Quartermaster Revenant comes with his pistol and close combat weapon, and every medical servitor is equipped with medical scalpels. You've got no war gear options here, so they just come with what they come with. In terms of what all those weapons mean, the medical scalpels are just 1 shitty close combat attack. That's it. There's no AP here, there's no meaningful damage, there's no meaningful strength. They're not military weapons, they are surgical tools. Although with a weapon skill of 5+, I do wonder how precise they are. If they're just there like, oh yeah, got to do a fine precision insertion. Oh, nah, I've gone too deep. I mean, weapon skill 5 does kind of imply they're not all that accurate, but maybe they're much more precise when it comes to actually doing the operations. We'll see. As for the Quartermaster's pistol, it's a hotshot las pistol. As for the Quartermaster close combat weapon, it is a power sword. It's basically the same as, what's interesting, it's not like an officer's power sword where you tend to get sort of 3 attacks and all that kind of stuff. It's more like halfway between a sergeant's power sword and an officer's power sword. Because if you look at the power sword on a Death Corps of Krieg infantry squad, they get 2 attacks but at weapon skill 4. And if you look at a power sword like a command squad, they get 3 attacks but at weapon skill 3. This one is 2 attacks at weapon skill 3. So it's a bit of a halfway between an officer and a sergeant. Now I know what you're thinking. Mordian, what the hell is the point of this unit? Because the stat line is fine, but nothing spectacular. And the damage output is actually terrible because it's just essentially one half decent power sword. So why are we taking these guys? Gentlemen. It all comes down to the abilities. Starting off with the one that isn't very important, you've got Mind Lock. While this unit contains a Quartermaster Revenant model, improve the weapon skill characteristic of this unit's Medicae scalpels by 1. Okay, fine. You make the shitty attacks very slightly less shitty, but still doesn't matter. We're taking them because of the Medicae Medipacks. That's why we're taking them. Whilst this unit contains 1 or more Medicae servitors, so you can lose 3 of them and still get its ability, no dramas. Models in this unit have the Feel No Pain 5+ ability. Oh. Nice. If you are a Greenhorn and you didn't play the Imperial Guard when we had our 10th edition index, then you may not understand why you just heard every Longbeard Guard player fall off their chair and pass out as all of the blood ran into their penises. Because when we had the index, we had access to a similar ability of 5+ Feel No Pain on our Krieg squads. And it made them the best battle line infantry in the entire game. They were amazing. Because you've got to think about this for a moment. It's not just this squad which is going to benefit from this. You can add it to a Death Court of Krieg unit, which means you can have a brick of guys with a 5+ Feel No Pain. If you've got a Krieg squad, and this was before we had things like the recon detachment, you could have a squad of Death Corps of Krieg running around with a 3+ save because they're in recon, and then they've got so they're getting the benefit of cover, and then if they're in cover, which they're gonna be because it's 10th edition, there's cover everywhere, so they're gonna be a 3+ save, and then they get a 5+ Feel No Pain on top of that. It might not sound like all that much, but trust me. Ask Salty Simon. Trust me. Kriegers with a 5+ Feel No Pain were so good, were so broken, that they basically took every single meaningful Feel No Pain out of the Guard Codex when we transitioned from our 10th edition index to our 10th edition codex. So having a unit like this just sitting pretty in Warhammer Legends, just demanding to be used, is so nice. It cannot be exaggerated. But wait, there's more. Because as I said, we're not in the index anymore. We're in the codex. And I've already hinted about how this could be kind of spicy with recon. But how do we use this to make the ultimate Krieg Gigablob? Well, imagine this for me, if you will, gentlemen. A squad of 20 Kriegers. And then you add a Quartermaster Cadre squad. Hang on, that's not it. And then you add a Krieg Command squad as well. Because you see, obviously, the Krieg Command squad can be added to a Death Corps of Krieg unit. And one of the things that people don't realize is that Death Corps of Krieg can actually have 2 leaders attached to them. This unit can have 2 leader units attached to it, provided no more than one of those units is a command squad. If it does, and this bodyguard unit is destroyed, the leader units attached to it become separate units with their original starting strength. Well, guess what? The Quartermaster Cadre squad is not a command squad. Look, nowhere on its datasheet does it say command squad. So therefore, you can add the Quartermaster Cadre squad and also the Krieg Command squad to the same 20-man blob of Kriegers. Now that would create a unit 31 models strong. Every single one of them, again, if we're looking at recon here, every single one of them would have easy access to a 3+ armor save and a 5+ Feel No Pain. And all of that would not require them in any way, shape or form to give up on their offensive damage output. Because we're going to have the benefit of cover, and if we're in recon, that means we get the extra +1. We can still take aim, go on that unit, So and then combine Grim Demeanor. So we could have a unit of Kriegers running around on a 3-up save, 5-up feel no pain, hitting on 2s with all of the plasma and melter and all of that good stuff. And don't forget, we can have 2 Krieg medipacks in the Krieg squad itself, giving us D3 plus 1 blokes back a turn. So even if you do start whittling through them, they're just going to start bringing people back. That is a hell of a Gigablob. It's big, it's chunky, it's got firepower, it's got durability, and oh my god, think of the screening. Think of the screening. Imagine taking that 30-man unit, stringing it all the way out, and doing things like the Scrambler for recon detachment. Oh yeah, you can't deep within 12 inches of this unit. Which point of the unit? The whole unit. Across the whole front lines. Deep strike armies would be screwed. And what about Tanglefoot Grenade? Oh, you go charge me? Yeah, -2. What about Courageous Distraction? Oh my days. Courageous Diversion. You just string out across your whole deployment zone. Across the whole front of your army. Everyone that shoots past it is at -1 to hit. And the unit itself is still -1 to hit and has all of those buffs on it. Think about it. You can be -1 to hit then. And then a 3-up save. And then a 5 field no pain. Oh, the ultimate screening unit. The ultimate Krieg Gigablob. Yes. However, we do need to come back down to earth for a moment. It is expensive. 255 points. Because the Quartermaster Cadre Squad is 45 points. Then you've got the Krieg Command Squad, which is 65 points. And then you've got this ridiculous decision. I mean, it's not ridiculous in the context of this. If they allowed Quartermaster Squads into the main game, this would make sense. But they had the ridiculous decision to nerf regular Krieg Squads up to 145 points. So it is going to come in at 255. But it's not that bad. Like, it's expensive, don't get me wrong. But, you know, a couple of these, 3 of these in your army is going to come into about 750 points. That's all of your infantry sorted. All of your infantry sorted. Orders sorted. And that still leaves you 1,250 points to get 4 or 5 tanks in your army. And also to get some action monkeys and other ship munchers and stuff in there and indirect fire. More than enough. In fact, I just jumped over to New Recruit and plugged that into the list builder. And you can see Krieg Command Squads, 2 Lemurus Commanders, Quartermasters here, 3 Blobs of Kriegers, 2 Artillery Teams, and 2 Lemurus Vanquishers. That's 4 tanks, 3 Gigablobs, and some artillery. Oh, we will need a Castellan to order those artillery teams around. Let's do it properly. But that's still going to leave you with 230 points left over. You could chuck another tank in there. You could go for some of the engineers or the grenadiers if you wanted to. The point is that if you were to build a list like this, you could have all your infantry and all of your tanks and also all of your artillery that you'd need and still have a few points left over to season that list how you saw fit. But the point is this, guys. We should be able to have fun with these units. As we get towards the last year of 10th edition, more and more I am becoming convinced that the Warhammer community, the Warhammer 40k community, we need to just stop adhering so religiously to the idea of like our match players in these small tiny boxes. 11th edition is going to be here soon, and who knows how many of these units are going to be with us going into 11th edition. Legends tends to be a place where things go to die, and eventually GW quietly shuffles them off. And there's a lot of complaints right now in the meta talk, that things are getting a bit stale and people are sort of running down the clock. They're already looking for other games and stuff. Why not reinvigorate the meta by letting people dip into Legends? Is it going to be super balanced? No. But we've all just been chewing on a Death Guard and Imperial Knight meta for 3 months. So why not have a Warhammer Legends meta, even if it's just for 3 to 6 months, try it out. I don't know about you, but the more I look into it, the more I think Warhammer Legends is legend. Wait for it. Derry. and it definitely deserves a place at the table. But of course, all of that is just like my opinion, man. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you a fan of Warhammer Legends? What do you think of the Quartermaster Cadre Squad? Do you think it's powerful, or do you think it's just a bit of a meme unit? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button and also subscribe to never miss an episode. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Redfield, 32, Jurgens, Miasma, Try Again, Bragg, RJ, Scorpion, Bonbon Vert, Lord Pryor, Nicholas Walsh, John Stubbs, Guardian, Varney, Sword, Fish Trombone, Picklock the Forged. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.